It's day 4 of Vlogmas. It's a gorgeous sunny day today, but it feels like minus 14 degrees Celsius. It's so cold. And it's a very special day today because it's Camden's birthday and we don't really have big plans for today. I offered a few things up, but Camden just wants to stay home and relax and have a nice cozy dinner, just the 3 of us. And he wants to wait for his birthday dinner out until James is home from school for Christmas break, which I also think is very, very sweet. So we will do our bigger celebration for his birthday when James gets home. When is that? I think towards the end of next week. And tonight, I think I'm just going to make kind of like a cozy comfort food. That's kind of Camden's favorite thing. And so I decided to pull out this cookbook by Jamie Oliver. It's beautiful. It's the Jamie's Comfort Food, Scrumptious Happy Classics. I've made a few things from here and they're all delicious. And I've made this before, but it's been years and years since I have. But I think this is going to be tonight's choice. It's toad in the hole, which is sausages baked in Yorkshire pudding batter with an onion gravy. So we're going to try this. I haven't quite figured out what kind of dessert to have afterwards. I really want to keep it very minimal today. I do have a brownie mix that I could make, or I could ask Glenn to bring home a little ice cream cake on his way back from work. He's been so busy with work lately that I never really know exactly what time he will be home, but I'm very much into comfort foods at the moment. I've got these other 2 cookbooks on the coffee table up here, and I've just been flipping through them and thinking about winter cooking and traditional Irish cooking. These were all inspired by my trip to Ireland last year, and I'm missing it so much. But I get to revisit some of those vibes when I flip through these books, which is one of the reasons I love cookbooks so much. We are also very big fans of cabbage, at least Camden and I are, and there are quite a few cabbage recipes in this book. This one is Cook by Graham Hedderich. It's traditional Irish cooking with modern twists. It's a really nice book. Lots of great lunch and dinner ideas in that one. And then this one I picked up at a bookstore in Ireland, in Dublin. It's called A Cookbook for Winter. And it doesn't have an author because I think it's like a compilation or, let's see, it just says Ryland Peters and Small Books. So it's also a gorgeous book that has me thinking about getting a little fondue pot. I've been thinking about this since last year. I think it would be really nice around the holidays. I just don't know how often I would use it. And so maybe I can just concoct my own sort of thing with a cast iron skillet. Not quite sure, but there are so many beautiful recipes in here with fondue. Like, look at this one. Oh my goodness. Roasted pumpkin fondue with crispy sage, porcini fondue, ginger and crab. It's such a beautiful book. So that's one of the things that I've been doing for the last few days. I've been a little extra tired lately, and just taking some quiet time to flip through books and to watch more Vlogmases is what I've been doing in most of my downtime. This morning, I did catch up on my Cozy Knitter Advent socks. So I am currently up to date on these, up to day 4. I've got both socks with 4 stripes, and I have finished the rib cuffs, which is always a big relief for me because I do not enjoy knitting the rib cuffs. Especially lately, there's just something about sock knitting and how I'm holding, I guess, the yarn in my hands, and my one hand tends to get numb when I'm doing rib, and I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to be a little more mindful of how I'm holding things, but they're turning out so beautifully. So this is what it looks like up to today. And I'm really excited about the next colors. I won't say what they are, but it looks like this is like a little family of greens. And I'm really excited about the next few colors because they are also a collection or shades of a certain color. So I do use these little leather scissor covers for my needles when I'm working on these. I don't normally use circular needles for my sock knitting. I love DPNs. They are my preferred choice for knitting socks. However, when I'm knitting my Advent socks, I like to do 2 at a time on separate needles. And I just find this a little bit more manageable in my bag. So that's my setup for this. I think I'm using a 2.25 millimeter, yes, which is what I always use. These are Chow Goose, and they're actually different. These are fixed, and these are interchangeables, and I'm not liking these because these have a very annoying bump here, and they keep unscrewing. So I need to find my little key, tighten that up. I much prefer the fixed ones for sock knitting, but I'm really enjoying this so far. And I'm mostly just happy to be past the rib cuff, to be caught up on both, and have everything tucked in my little bunny bag. And so my morning routine is much like every other Vlogmas. I come downstairs, I make my coffee, I sit in this chair in the front room. I watch a couple of Vlogmases. I cannot watch all of my favorites in the morning, but I kind of pick the ones that have like a cozy feeling for the morning. And I just kind of ease into my day working on my Advent socks, watching a couple of Vlogmas episodes, and then I start to map out the rest of my day. And I'm still trying to do that today. I've had a very slow start today. I wasn't feeling good and woke up in the middle of the night. And so this morning I'm just moving a little bit slower than usual, but that's okay. I think we all need a day like that now and then. So I have found the recipe for tonight's dinner. I'm going to pull some sausages out of the freezer, make sure I have the rest of the ingredients, think about dessert for tonight, and I'm going to go into the studio and do a couple of hours of work. And I'm going to sort of keep it short today in there. I'm going to get some things done, but I really want to take part of today to make a nice meal, to sit down on the couch and knit, and just kind of recuperate and make sure that I am not catching anything. I have been visiting my dad in the hospital every 2 or 3 days. I kind of rotate with my sisters and my mom, and we're all taking turns. But there's a lot of sickness out there right now. There's the flu, there's COVID, there's so many things, and I'm just trying to be so careful not to catch anything. And I kind of had a funny feeling when I woke up this morning that I might be catching something, but a slow day might reverse that. And it's kind of quiet around here too. Glenn is in the office. Camden is in the basement doing some stuff. He's helping with laundry today, which is really nice. But we don't want to go outside. It's too cold. I thought about maybe going out for coffee and a treat with Camden and just getting out of the house, but I think it's going to be a day spent at home. I've taken the sausages out of the freezer to defrost, and I thought I would do just a couple of things in the kitchen before I head upstairs to do some work. I put some eggs in my favorite little kitchen gadget, which is this Dash egg cooker. I know that it's super easy to boil eggs on the stove, but I just love this little thing. You plug it in, you put some water in it, and it will hard boil the eggs so perfectly. And the shells come off like a dream. And I always struggle when I boil them on the stove with getting the shells off of them. So this is going to be perfect. I like having a couple of hard-boiled eggs in the fridge just to snack on, or to make egg salad sandwiches this week, or maybe for Cobb salads. Those are my favorite, so that's kind of what I'm hoping for. And I decided to make a loaf of sourdough bread. I'm not feeling very confident about this dough. I have found a routine that really works well for me in the last few weeks or month or so. I found Kelly Welk on YouTube. She has some amazing videos that goes through all kinds of different processes you can use. And the one that I love is where she makes 2 loaves of dough, puts it in a container into the fridge so that you can pull it out at any time in the next week or two to bake a loaf. So you prep for 2, put it in the fridge, and when you want to bake, you just take half of it, pull it out, stretch and fold a little bit, and it's ready to go in the oven after like a 1-hour proof time. I think I left this dough in the fridge a little bit longer than she suggests. It's very sticky, much stickier than the first half that I baked and turned out perfectly. So I don't really know if this is gonna work. Like you can see, I don't know, it's really sticky. And I think I'm going to let it sit here for the recommended 1 hour. And if it still feels super sticky and hasn't risen at all, I might not even bake it. But I thought I would give it a shot. I added a bit of flour to it. I'm going to sit it in the warmest spot in the kitchen that I can find. And if I feel like it's not too sticky at that point, I will bake a loaf. Otherwise, I might have to go back and make another batch of dough in the next couple of days. And then I will have dough in the fridge so I can pull out and make a loaf at any time I want. But it's such a quick process that way for me. Instead of having all of the steps at once, it breaks it up into chunks, and I just prefer it that way. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to cover it up, and fingers crossed that it won't be as sticky after it sits here for about an hour. I've been finding anything to distract myself from going into the studio to start my work. I've got this giant basket of clothes to fold. I think it's been lingering around since Monday night, but I just walked by my little makeup table over here and I spotted my latest obsession that I wanted to share with you. I'm wearing it on my cheeks right now. I have been loving this recent trend for a really red kind of classic cheek. It sort of reminds me of when women would use a red lipstick and then smudge some of it on their cheeks to just kind of give them a rosy glow. And I think I found the perfect one to give me that look. It's also one of my favorite cheek products, which is from Merit Beauty. It's the Flush Balm, which is like a creamy cheek color that you can kind of just rub on your cheeks or use your fingers or a brush. And I think this is exactly the type of color I was looking for. It's really quite red and bright, but it just gives my complexion a bit of life, especially during these like cold winter months. I just feel like it gives me a healthy glow. It looks like you just came inside from being out in the cold, and I think it's super pretty and also really easy to use. You can also smudge this on your lips. So it's one of those products that I think is just really versatile and I love it. So I wanted to share that with you. I am going to tackle this basket before I start some work, and hopefully I will not get distracted by anything else.